Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Di, and today I'm sharing with you my end of the month reading reflections for the month of February 2023. So in these videos, I tell you what I read throughout the month, I give you some really soft stats, and then I share with you my highest and lowest rated reads of the month. As always, if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on anything that I am about to show you, you can check out my Desus 19 diaries, which are linked down in the description box below. Each diary entry has in the description box a list of the books that I am giving you my thoughts on. So if you're only interested in a couple, you can check out the description box of the videos to find the one that you're interested in. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'll let you know everything that I had read during the month first, and then we'll get into some stats, and then I'll tell you what my lowest and highest rated reads of the month were. So, in no particular order, I read Volume 1 of Erased by Kei Sanbei. This is published by Yen Press, rated teen. I read this for the Monochrome Manga Club, which is my in-real-life manga club where I host at a local Barnes & Noble, and we read several first in a series selections, and then we do 2 series reads. So if you're interested in my thoughts on the Monochrome Manga Club selections, you can check out the Monochrome Manga Club series First Impressions video, which is also linked down in the description box below. For the Monochrome Manga Club, we also read Volume 1 of Sasaki and Miyano. This is published by Yen Press, rated teen, by Sho Harusono. We read Volume 1 of Romantic Killer. This is by Wataru Momose, published by Viz, rated teen. As part of our continuing series for the Monochrome Manga Club, we read Volumes 15 and 16 of Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba by Koyoharu Gotoge, published by Viz, rated teen. I read Grey Walker by Kat Richardson. This is the first book in the Grey Walker series. I read Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So this is the second book in the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I read Living Dead in Dallas by Charlaine Harris. This is the second book in the Suki Stackhouse series. I read Volumes 12 and 13 of Bleach by Tite Kubo. These are the 3-in-1 editions, so in each of these volumes there are 3 volumes, so 6 volumes in total. This is published by Viz, rated teen. I read My Happy Marriage, Volume 3 by Akumi Agitogi. This is the light novel edition, published by Yen On, ages 13 and up, which is teen. I read Semo Paris, Volume 3. Kind of can't show you the front of this, but I'll show you an edited picture here. Volume 3 of Semo Paris by Jun Ogino. This one's published by 7 Seas, rated older, teen, 17+. This does have a parental advisory warning on the back for explicit content. I also read Blood Fever, which is the second book in the Fever series by Karen Mary Moaning. I am doing that as part of a read-along with my friend Janaea over at Live a Thousand Lives. And then I also read Crush, which is the second book in the Crave series by Tracy Wolff. I'm kind of participating in the Crave Along. I can't remember who is hosting that one. Is it Reads Readers? I will link that down in the description box below as well if you're interested in doing that one. And so that is everything that I read during the month of February. So let's get into some stats. So, of all of the things that I just showed you, I had 4 5-star reads, 6 4-star reads, 1 3.5-star read, 2 3-star reads, and 1 2-star read. I will also tell you that I have DNF'd 1 series in the month of February, but I didn't DNF anything individually. I read 14 total things in the month, which is down from 19 things in January, which is fine. I read 4,651 pages, which is just slightly down from my total pages read of 4,881 pages in January. So even though I read 5 less things in the month of February, my page count was higher. So I'm okay with that. I read 8 volumes of manga, which Technically, if you count the 3-in-1 editions, then I read 14 volumes of manga, but I only counted the 3-in-1s as singular volumes. So take that as you want, and that is up or down from 13 volumes in the month of February. I read 5 novels, which is up from 3 in the month of January, and of the 5 novels, I read 3 of those via audiobook. And then I read 1 light novel, which is the same amount of light novels that I read in January. Of the things that I did read, 1 of the things that I read was from the library, and 13 of the things that I read I already owned. This brings me up to 33 total things read in 2023 so far. So that is pretty good. I'm pretty happy where I am with my stats and what I've been reading overall. I think I had a pretty good reading month despite me having one of the lowest rated reads of the year so far in February. And so I will tell you what my highest and lowest rated reads of the month were right now. My highest rated reads of the month were manga, Bleach, the 3-in-1 editions, 12 and 13. We're really enjoying this series. I've already watched the anime. We're doing a rewatch, and so we're also doing a read a watch along because we're reading through this series for the first time. So my daughter and I are experiencing the manga for the first time, and then as we read, we're watching the corresponding episodes. It has been really fun revisiting the series. There are some things that I'm not remembering were there, and I'm enjoying rewatching the anime as well. So 5 stars for both of those. And then 5 stars for Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. This is a series that I am continuing to enjoy. Again, we are in the middle of a battle where this volume 16 ends, and that's one of the hazards of doing read-alongs like this. It's not something that I enjoy, that anticipation of the next volumes, but I've been really enjoying discussing this with my manga club members. Like I said, I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. Sometimes when things are so hyped like this series is, I have a fear that I am not going to enjoy it as much as other people. And thankfully, with this series, I am enjoying this one as much as everybody else. And so we have finished watching what is out of the anime so far. So that's through the Entertainment District. Really looking forward to the Swordsmith Village arc, which is coming out later this year. And really looking forward to the next 2 volumes, which I will be reading in March for my manga club. So those were my 5-star reads of the month. Not surprising, I think, if you kind of followed along with my end of the month reading reflections videos for the last few months. And Demon Slayer has been up there for a while. And then my last and lowest read of the month. So last and lowest. This is the last thing I read in February. Samo Paris, Volume 3. So, like I said, picture is edited because it is not appropriate to show you. I had thought that this was going to be the end of the series because it has been a while since a volume of this series had come out. When I saw what the cover of this volume looked like, I was very apprehensive about reading it. And unfortunately, after reading the volume, I have decided to DNF this series. So the reason that this series has had a long hiatus in publishing is actually because the mangaka is unwell. And so it's not because the series was ending. Unfortunately, this series at this point now has too much gratuitous sex scenes and not enough story for me. Although I am interested in what's going on in this world, because it is very much like Bleach. Again, you can hear me talk about this in my Desus 19 diaries. Even though all of that is interesting to me, that's only a fraction of what happens in this volume. And I find that more interesting than the romantic and sexual relationships that these ladies are having. And so I've decided to go ahead and DNF this series because I'm not into a series where there's just a lot of sex and nothing else. And it is really barely anything else. There is something that happened at the end of this volume that I do find interesting and have a little bit of curiosity about, but when I think back on my reading experience of this volume, it's not enough to make me continue to invest in purchasing these volumes and continuing to read it, because like I said, there's not enough there outside of the romantic relationships and sexual escapades of our characters that will keep my interest. So unfortunately, that is my first series that I've DNF'd this year, I believe. And not my actual first DNF of the year, but my first DNF series. So yeah, it's unfortunate that that turned out that way, because I think the story in Samo Paris could actually be very interesting. When I had first picked it up, it was very much sounding like Scarlet Nexus, just a little bit. And then when I started reading the first volume, the things that they were battling reminded me a lot of the Hollows from Bleach, and so I was really anticipating the story to be more focused on that, but it's not. So I'm very disappointed. But, you know, it's probably for somebody else, it's just not for me. So that is pretty much my thoughts on what I've read so far this year. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with where I am so far. I don't know where I am as far as total number of novels, like if I'm on track to hit the 52 that I normally do as an unofficial sub goal for every year. But it's been entertaining. I would say it's been entertaining. I haven't been really super impressed with most of the novels that I read this month, but there were a couple that I was really, really interested in and really enjoyed. So, yeah. Let me know down in the comments below how you did with your reading in the month of February and what your highest and lowest rated reads of the month were. If nothing else, and you'd just like to let me know that you were here, if you could leave me a ghost emoji for Grey Walker, because she kind of deals with spirits, down in the comments below, that would be greatly appreciated and would really help me out. And that will do it for me today. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.